Alright, today's topic is about compound interest. So compound interest is something that you'll be using in life when you're talking about in savings accounts or any type of account that you use with money that builds up interest over the years, and talks about investments, loans, and things like that. So this is an important skill to know about, and we're going to learn how to solve it, okay? So first thing we're going to do, I have this paper here to kind of show you. Your formula is right here, okay? So your formula for compound interest is A equals P times 1 plus R over M to the N times T power, okay? So what does all that mean, all right? Well, the A is our current amount. So that's the amount we have in there currently. The P is the principal or initial amount. So that's the amount that we start with, okay? The R is our interest rate. And then our N is our number of times compounded a year, and I'll go over that in a second. And then T is our years, right? Time, okay? So that's kind of what all these things mean right here, okay? So make sure you write that down in the paper I give you, if you have that paper, of course. So that's what all that means. And so it looks like a complicated formula. It's not really, you just have to know what goes where and everything. And I got some problems that we'll go over and kind of talk about all that, all right? So I'm going to leave our formula up here so we have it, okay? And I'm going to go over our first question. So we have, says you invest $52,400 at 6% compounded annually for 5 years. What amount will you have at the end of the investment, okay? So for all these questions that we have, we're trying to solve for our A, okay? That's what we're trying to figure out is what amount we have currently, okay? So let's go ahead and we can label these things if you so want. We know that our principal investment, right? That is going to be our $52,400, okay? So 52,400, all right? Our interest rate is 6%, okay? So 6%. Now when we do this, we have to write it as a decimal, okay? So we're going to change this to a decimal, and that's 0.06. Our N, compounded annually, okay? So compounded annually, so annually means once per year. So it's going to be 1, all right? And then our T, how many years? We got 5 years, okay? So 5 years is what we're looking at, all right? So that's our T, all right? Now we're going to go ahead and plug it in the formula. So we have A equals our P, which is 52,400, parentheses 1 plus our R, which is 6%, or we're going to use our decimal, 0.06, over N, which is 1, and then out here we have N, which is 1 again, times T, which is 5, okay? So once you get out here, NT, all right, it's being multiplied, okay? N times T. So whatever N and T are, you're going to multiply them together out here, all right? Now we're going to go ahead and solve. So we're going to start with these two things here, okay? So we're going to bring down our A equals, we're going to bring down 52,400, okay? Our 1 and our plus. Now we're going to do 0.6 divided by 1. We know that 0.06 divided by 1, anything divided by 1 is itself, so it's 0.06. And then out here, 5 times 1 is 5, right? Now, we're going to do our parentheses. We're going to add these two together here. So 52,400, and then 1 plus 0.06. You want, if you need to put that in the calculator, you can. You could do 1 plus 0.06, and we get 1.06. All right, and then it's going to be to the 5th power. All right, so now what we can do, we can go ahead and do this power. 1.06, you already have in the calculator. We're going to hit to the 5th power. So yx to the 5th power. That gives us this crazy number here. All right. Now we need to multiply it by our principal. So 52,400, and our final answer is going to be, I did not press times button. Let's try this again. 1.06 to the 5th power equals this times, make sure you hit the times button there, 52,400, and that's going to give us this number here, and we're going to round. So our A is 70,123. Now remember, this is money, dollars, and we're going to round. We got 0.02, so 2 cents. Okay, so that's how we do this right here. Okay, so it's the same concept each time, right? We're doing the parentheses stuff first. We're adding the thing to the power, times out front. Okay, and that's it. That's really all it is. All right. So I'll do another one here for you guys. All right, so we got, it says, John borrowed $10,400 for 4 years at 12% that is compounded semi-annually, which is twice a year. What is the total amount of the loan he will pay back? All right, so start us again. All right, so our principal, what did he start with? He started with 10,400. Okay, so our 10,400, all right, our interest rate is 12%, so 12%, or as a decimal at 0.12. Our N, compounded semi-annually, so twice a year, so 2. Okay, so 2 times per year it's compounded, and then our T, our years, is 4. All right. So now we're going to go ahead, plug it into our formula. We have A equals 10,400 times 1 plus our R. We're going to use decimal point, remember, 0.12 over our N, which is 2. And then out here our N, 2 times T, which is 4. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead, we're going to bring down this part here. We do 1 plus. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to do .12 divided by 2 gives us 0.06. Look at that, another 0.06. All right. And then 2 times 4, of course, is going to be 8. Now we're going to go ahead, add this 1 plus 0.06. We did that last time. We got 1.06 because we added the 8th power. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to do 1.06 to the 8th power. That gives us this crazy number here. And then we're going to times it, times button, of course, 10,400. And our final answer is $16,576. And how many cents? That 9 runs that 1 up, so 2 cents. Okay. So that's what we're doing. All right. We'll do one more example. Okay. One more. Not too hard, guys, right? It's just plug and chug. Plug and chug. That's all we're doing here. All right. All right, one more example. We got Paul invests $17,500 at 8.5% that is compounded quarterly, so 4 times per year. This is compounded. What was the total amount of his investment after 9 years? Okay. Now, I'm not going to go into what all this means, the compound stuff and everything. If you want to learn that, you can look it up online. I was going to tell you how to do the problem. Okay. So once again, we're going to go ahead. We're going to label everything. So our initial investment is our big number, 17,500. My rate is 8.5%, and as a decimal, that's going to be 0.085. My N is compounded quarterly, so 4 times a year. All right, so that's 4, and then 9 is my T, 9 years. All right. So I'm going to write our equation out. So A equals 17,500 times 1 plus my rate, which is the decimal, 0.085 over my N, which is 4, all to the N, which is 4, times T, which is 9. Alright, let's start solving. So A equals 17,500 times 1 plus. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to do 0.085 divided by 0.085 divided by 4 gives us 0.085. 0.02125, okay? And then 4 times 9 gives us 36. All right. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to add those parentheses up. So 1 plus is going to give us 1.02125 to the 36th power. All right. I'll get my number. I'm just going to make it look nicer. A equals 17,500 times 1. Remember, we're just adding this, right? If you want to do it, you can do it on here. 2125 is, you know, if you want to do it to make yourself feel better. 25, and then that's the 36th power, okay? Now the fun part here, we have 1.02125 to the 36th power. That gives us this number. And we'll go ahead and times that by 17,500, and we get A equals $37,307.19. All right, so compound interest, that's how you do it. The formula's pretty simple. Plug and chug, baby.